Hey everyone, welcome to Reality TV News Update, the place where we bring you the latest updates, fun moments, and behind-the-scenes stories you won't want to miss. The pair, who are currently starring on the Amazing Race European Adventure, announced the exciting news via Instagram. The Amazing Race European Adventure stars Izzy Glacier and Paige Sieber are officially married. The couple shared the happy news via Instagram on Wednesday, December 3rd, posting photoshopped images of themselves into Gabby Windey and Robbie Hoffman's wedding pictures, complete with survivors Brandon Donlin edited in as the officiant. "I do the legally wed," Glacier captioned the post. Sieber commented, "The pictures are fake, but the marriage certificate is real." Before The Amazing Race, Glacier starred on season 25 of Big Brother, placing 12th. In the comments section, several of the couple's BB and Amazing Race co-stars congratulated the newlyweds. "Oh my God, congratulations," wrote BB25's America Lopez. "Fucking icons," commented BB24 winner Taylor Hale. "So happy for you two," added Amazing Race's Joseph Obden. Racer Natalie Negrodi also wrote, "LMFAO and congrats beauties." Donlin also chimed in, writing, "Honored to bear witness to something so unbelievably gay." Glacier and Sieber are one of 4 couples still competing on The Amazing Race. This season exclusively featured former Big Brother contestants paired up with a loved one. The other 3 remaining teams are Jag and Jazz Baines, Joseph and Adam Abden, and Kylan Young and Taylor Hale. The sun rose gently over the quiet coastal town where the impossible was about to happen. For weeks, fans of Big Brother and The Amazing Race had been busy debating rumors and whispers online, but no one truly believed the truth. 2 stars from 2 of the biggest reality competition shows in the world were about to be married in a ceremony so secret that even their closest friends did not fully understand what was unfolding. Lena first became famous inside the walls of the Big Brother house. She was known for her calm strategy and her soft voice that hid a fierce determination. Jordan rose to fame racing across continents on The Amazing Race, where his humor and resilience made him a fan favorite. Their worlds were separate for years, yet fate has a way of bending paths together in unexpected ways. Their first meeting happened at a charity event in Los Angeles, meant to bring together reality stars for a cause. Lena almost did not attend because she felt drained from the pressure of public life. Jordan nearly skipped it as well because he was exhausted from constant travel. Still, they both showed up, and that decision changed everything. They stood by the refreshment table at the same moment and exchanged polite smiles. Conversation came easily, even though neither expected it. They spoke about life after reality television and the strange feeling of being known by millions who did not truly know you. By the time the evening ended, something rare had sparked between them. Their relationship stayed quiet for a long time. They went on simple walks at night and shared long talks in small cafes, far from cameras. As months passed, their bond grew stronger, yet they protected it fiercely from public view. They knew from experience how quickly the spotlight could turn love into spectacle. Jordan proposed one evening on a quiet beach under a sky filled with stars. There were no crews and no big speech crafted for an audience. He simply told her that life had never felt as real as it did with her. Lena said yes with tears in her eyes and laughter in her voice. They could have sold the story instantly for massive headlines, yet they chose a different path. Instead of a grand celebrity wedding, they planned something small, personal, and deeply meaningful. Only a few friends knew the truth, and even they did not know the full plan. The wedding day arrived quietly. There were no press vans and no photographers hiding in bushes. The ceremony took place on a stretch of coastline where the ocean met the sand in gentle rhythm. Guests believed they were attending a casual celebration of friendship. No one suspected they were about to witness a marriage. Lena arrived dressed in simple white fabric that flowed in the wind. Jordan waited near the water, dressed in a light suit that matched the soft colors of the shore. When their guests finally understood what was happening, the surprise washed over them in waves of shock and joy. The officiant revealed the truth with a calm smile and a steady voice. Gasps filled the air as hands flew to mouths and tears began to fall. The crowd realized they had unknowingly walked into a moment that would be remembered for a lifetime. Their vows were the heart of the ceremony. Lena spoke first. She described how life inside the Big Brother house had taught her about patience and trust, yet real love had taught her even more. She promised to hold Jordan steady through storms, public and private. She promised honesty, even when silence would be easier. Jordan followed with a voice thick with emotion. He spoke of racing across the world and thinking he understood adventure until he met her. He said real courage was choosing one person every day. He promised to protect her peace and celebrate her strength. When they kissed for the first time as husband and wife, the ocean seemed to pause in reverence. Gentle applause turned into joyful cheers. Friends cried openly, and laughter filled the salty air. News of the surprise wedding spread within hours. Social media erupted with disbelief and excitement. Fans from both shows shared clips and photos taken by guests who had finally been allowed to post. Many wrote that it felt like watching a fairy tale unfold in real time. Former housemates and race partners sent messages of love and disbelief. Some admitted they had known nothing at all, while others confessed that they had struggled to keep the secret. The joy was shared across fandoms that rarely crossed before. What made the story even more powerful was the simplicity of the day. There were no brand sponsors and no elaborate sets. There were no choreographed entrances and no dramatic countdowns. There was only love revealed in its purest form. At the reception, they danced barefoot in the sand. Music played softly as lanterns glowed under the darkening sky. Guests shared stories of how Lena and Jordan had changed their lives in quiet ways. They spoke of kindness off camera and humility away from the spotlight. Late in the evening, the couple slipped away briefly and stood alone by the water once more. The world now knew their secret, yet the moment still felt private and sacred. They held hands and watched the waves move endlessly toward the shore. In interviews released days later, they explained why they chose surprise over spectacle. Lena said that reality television had given her many gifts, but it had also taken something precious, which was privacy. Jordan added that racing around the world taught him that the most meaningful moments often happen when no one is watching. Fans responded with admiration rather than disappointment. Many said the surprise made the love feel more real. It reminded them that behind the competitions and confessionals were two people who simply found each other in the most unlikely way and chose to build a life together in quiet courage. The wedding became more than a headline. It became a symbol of how love could still exist quietly, even in a world driven by constant exposure. It showed that not every milestone had to be engineered for ratings or followers. In the weeks that followed, Lena returned to her work in media production, while Jordan continued his travels for humanitarian projects. They visited each other often and shared small glimpses of married life through gentle photos and handwritten messages online. Their story inspired many former reality stars to step back from the pressure to perform every part of life for the public eye. Quiet celebrations became more common as others realized that joy did not need an audience to be real. Years from now, people will still talk about the day Big Brother met the amazing race in a place where cameras were not invited. They will remember how a simple beach became the stage for a love story that refused to be treated like a television twist. And Lena and Jordan will remember it not as a viral moment, but as the day the world felt still just long enough for two lives to unite without noise. Their journey began not with a dramatic episode cliffhanger, but with the soft, steady promise of a shared tomorrow. In a world where surprises are often manufactured, this one arrived honestly. It was not written by producers, it was not edited for drama, it was not guided by ratings. It was guided by two people who found each other in the most unlikely way and chose to build a life together in quiet courage. Long after the headlines fade and newer seasons take the spotlight, their story will linger as proof that even in the loudest arenas of fame, the most powerful moments can still be whispered. The Amazing Race European Adventure airs Wednesdays at 9:30 East,
8:30
The
Central
morning
on
began like
CBS.
any other quiet day on the coast. Waves rolled in with soft rhythm, and the sky glowed with pale light. No one in the small gathering of friends believed they were about to witness a wedding. They had been invited under the promise of a simple celebration of friendship and gratitude. Yet two reality television stars were preparing to reveal a secret that would shock everyone present. Maya became known to the world through Big Brother. She was remembered for her thoughtful strategy and calm strength under pressure. Tyler rose to fame on The Amazing Race, where he pushed through brutal challenges with grit and laughter. For years, their paths never crossed. They lived in different worlds, shaped by different competitions, yet both understood life under constant observation. They met at a charity fundraiser meant to support disaster relief. The room was full of bright lights and familiar faces. Maya felt overwhelmed and stepped outside for fresh air. Tyler had done the same for the same reason. They spoke quietly at first about exhaustion in public life. The conversation flowed easily, and by the end of the night, something unexpected had formed between them. Their relationship grew slowly and privately. They avoided public events together and chose quiet places for their time. Walks at night and late dinners far from cameras became their routine. It was not secrecy driven by fear, but protection driven by respect. They wanted to know each other fully before letting the world in. The proposal happened during a sunrise hike in the hills. No crowd watched and no camera followed. Tyler told Maya that every race he had ever run paled beside the life he wanted to build with her. She said yes without hesitation, and the moment felt untouched by fame. They promised each other that the wedding would be theirs before it was anyone else's. Planning the ceremony was an exercise in trust. Only a handful of people knew the truth. Even family members believed they were attending a casual gathering of friends. The location was chosen for its quiet beauty. A stretch of beach framed by rolling waves and open sky waited patiently for the secret to unfold. As guests arrived, laughter filled the shoreline. Everyone greeted one another with ease, believing this was nothing more than a peaceful get-together. Maya walked among them, dressed in flowing white fabric that felt natural against the breeze. Tyler stood beside the water, calm and steady as if he had been waiting there his whole life. When everyone gathered in a loose circle, the officiant stepped forward. With a gentle voice, the truth was spoken at last. This was not a party. This was a wedding. Shock moved through the group like a sudden wind. Hands rose to faces, and voices broke with emotion as the realization settled in. Maya spoke first during the vows. She said the game of Big Brother taught her how to read people, but love taught her how to believe in them. She promised patience during chaos and loyalty through peace. She promised to always return to the version of herself that Tyler saw, even when the world demanded something else. Tyler followed with trembling hands and steady eyes. He spoke of running through cities and deserts and storms, believing adventure was everything. He said adventure changed when love appeared. He promised to never stop choosing her, even when the race felt endless. He promised to make home feel like victory. When they kissed, the crowd erupted in tears and cheers. The waves seemed to answer with their own applause. What had begun as a simple gathering shifted forever into a story that no one present would ever forget. They were no longer guests at a party. They were witnesses to a union built in quiet conviction. The reception that followed felt like a dream. Music drifted through the evening air and lanterns glowed as the sky darkened. People shared stories of how Maya and Tyler had impacted them beyond television. They spoke of kindness at unexpected moments and wisdom offered without cameras nearby. News spread quickly once guests were allowed to share what they had seen. Fans from Big Brother and The Amazing Race reacted with disbelief and joy. Social media filled with messages of admiration rather than outrage. Many said the surprise made the love feel more genuine and less manufactured. Former castmates expressed shock at having known nothing. Some laughed at how completely they had been fooled. Others admitted that the secrecy felt refreshing in a world where every life event was usually broadcast and advanced. The story traveled fast, but its heart remained steady. In days that followed, Maya and Tyler released a brief statement. They said the marriage was not meant to hide from the world, but to belong to them first. They thanked fans for the support and asked that the love be respected as something real and grounded. Their decision sparked conversation across entertainment circles. Many spoke about the pressure to perform personal milestones for public consumption. Others pointed to the surprise wedding as a reminder that not all love stories need to be sold in pieces for engagement and ratings. Life soon returned to its steady rhythm. Maya continued her work behind the scenes in creative projects. Tyler returned to travels focused on relief efforts and outreach. They reunited often in quiet cities and empty airports where fame faded into the background. Their marriage was not built on spectacle, but on shared silence and shared effort. They learned the small rituals of everyday life and found comfort in the ordinary. Morning coffee and evening talks replaced competition schedules and public scrutiny. Years from now, people will still mention the day Big Brother and The Amazing Race unexpectedly became one story. They will remember how love stepped quietly into the spotlight without warning and refused to be reshaped by it. Maya and Tyler will remember something simpler. They will remember the sound of the waves and the warmth of hands held tightly. They will remember the feeling of choosing each other without an audience and discovering that it changed everything all the same. In a world hungry for constant drama, their wedding arrived without buildup and without control. It reminded everyone that some stories are strongest when they are not announced in advance. And in that silent moment between ocean and sky, two lives joined without noise, yet with unshakable force, proving that the quietest surprises can still echo the longest.